Welcome to Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network. Join hosts Stan, Richie, and TD as they break down the latest news and storylines across the NFL, featuring game predictions, breakdowns, heated debates, live Patreon callers, and everything in between. Catch Fourth and Forever every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Fourth and Forever, your daily NFL news show brought to you by the Roundtable Sports Network. Real coverage from real fans. Richie should be joining us here any minute, but TD, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Here we are, another day, talking great football. We had a crazy game last night and so much more. The playoff pictures are looking like they're about to be set. Here we are, baby. Fourth and Forever. Y'all hit that like button. I'll just say water. I don't know why. Y'all hit that like button.
Like water.
Family members know about the channel. And shout out to Vitamin Energy.
Oh, shout out to Vitamin Energy indeed, folks. The official energy drink partner of the Roundtable Sports Network. It is energy with all of the benefits. Recipes on recipes, hydration, pre-workouts, vitamin B12, focus recipes. You can find it all in their variety pack. And the best part about it is that if you end up purchasing it, you could use our BOGO Roundtable code where you will get a buy one, get one free, folks. Supporting our sponsors is the exact same thing as supporting the boys over at Roundtable. Shout out to Vitamin Energy for being a proud partner of the damn show. We got to start off with probably the biggest piece of breaking news that we ultimately ended up seeing prior to hopping on show. Stefon Diggs, man, it is now official. He was just recently charged with assault and strangulation paired to an event that allegedly occurred on December 2nd. Now, when you ultimately end up looking at how the NFL deals with things like this, there is not a concrete approach or a step-by-step process in how they make these things happen. Sometimes we've seen a lot of suspensions take all the way until the court has made their final decision. Sometimes we see it happen almost immediately. Like we have seen things like with Watson, for example, was suspended almost pretty instantaneously based off of allegations. I'm going to transition this over to TD. I don't think that he will be suspended going into the playoffs. However, if he is, what does this mean for the New England Patriots offense as the playoffs are approaching? Because keep in mind, Mac Hollins is also placed on the IR, meaning that they would be down two of their best wide receivers on the roster. Go off. Talk to me.
First of all, these are very serious allegations, first and foremost. And at the end of the day, it's innocent until proven guilty. Even though in society today, you are guilty until proven innocent. It's crazy how things have shifted.
True, and it's frustrating. It's true, and it's frustrating.
We don't even know the backdrop of the story, everything that happened, why it happened. There's no justification for certain things, but there are circumstances that do lead to things. So I just think it's important that everybody sit back and hear about what actually happened, what caused everything to happen before judgment is cast, because judgment's coming no matter what, whether you should or not judge the situation. This was the day fresh off of a win against the Giants, going into their bye week, so this was the day they started their bye to be off for about 13 days. Yeah. So again, I'm going to wait to see what actually happened, but this could serve to be from a football standpoint. This could serve to be devastating. It just depends on how the league handles it. Will they continue to monitor the situation and wait till they have all the facts, which could be later in the season because he has a court appearance the day before the AFC Championship or something like that? So you really won't know, from what, in a Raymond standpoint, what's going to happen until then. Could the league sit on their hands until they know more, or could the league decide to step in and say, hey, we need him to sit down for a while? We have no idea. We got to wait on the league's response. The league did say they've been in communication with the Patriots, and they're going to leave it at that for right now, which means, hey, man, business as usual until we know more.
My question is, though, what does this turn the Patriots offense into? Because fun fact, and I admitted it last night on the show, this Patriots offense is carried by elite quarterback play. Mm-hmm. This offense and this team, this roster is average, very average at best. So without Matt Collins, without Stefon Diggs in the passing attack, a team that is very inconsistent in being able to establish the run, I think this is a massive concern, especially if the LA Chargers defense comes into town, especially if they end up like playing the Houston Texans eventually, like with quality secondaries. Something I've seen from Pats fans' perspectives as well. Did you know that out of every single opponent that Drake May and this Patriots team has played, he has 0 touchdowns against teams that are currently in the playoffs. He has 0 passing touchdowns against teams that are in the playoffs in general. Now you take away 2 of his best weapons. I don't know. Richie, thoughts on this? And by the way, shout me out because I had that article out probably before a lot of people did. And did you see the article that Dan Mitchell scooped up?
I did see the article, number one. And sorry for my tardiness. I'm here. And yeah, I saw that news and Roundtable broke the news to me. I'm like, what's going on here? Stefon Diggs. Yeah, I don't know too much about it in terms of like the NFL's known about it, but the big question is, how is it going to impact his availability? Has that been clear yet or no?
How the NFL typically tackles this is that he probably won't see anything until next year. Okay. But sometimes you see situations where they act swiftly, like the Deshaun Watson situation was handled relatively swiftly. So, I mean, I guess it depends.
And just break it down to me. Exactly who is the victim in this?
That's unknown.
The details. It's just a police.
That's unknown.
Oh, yeah, we'll know sooner rather than later because a lot of people are going to be on it now to find out. But to answer your question, though, Dan, I honestly don't think this will have any impact on the New England Patriots. Do you know?
You don't think so?
Yeah. Do you know that this year Stefon Diggs had 11 games where it didn't even look like he was a number 1 receiver and barely a number 2? Like, I'm talking about less than 30, 40 yards in the game.
Yeah. Like,
Drake May spreads the ball around within the flow of the offense. He's not honing in on, I got to get the ball to my number 1. I got to get to. No, he just plays the position and goes through his reads. So I'm sorry. I don't think this would impact the Patriots at all. Obviously, having a weapon like Diggs.
Some of the games, though, where he wasn't impactful, those were games where Matt Collins stepped up, and there's no Matt Collins anymore.
Somebody got to step up. I mean, he's still going to be throwing the ball to whoever's open. It's up to them to make the play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to make a Matt Collins look like a legitimate number 2 receiver in the league, knowing his career, he's been a 3-4. Mm-hmm. You know, so who's to say he won't make the next 3 look like a 2 or whatever it may be? That's the beauty of what the Patriots have done this year. It's not really about the personnel.
I think they're in trouble in the playoffs, to be completely honest with you.
Well, you said that before.
I really do. Well, look, and so I look at it objectively.
But how does this affect him in the playoffs? Diggs is not going to be out, so I'm confused.
We don't know that.
If he was to be out.
Yeah. We're talking hypotheticals. If he was out, how would this impact the Patriots team in your eyes, Richie?
Yeah, it would impact. In the playoffs, Stefon Diggs is a presence. Matt Collins is also injured. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. So, he's on the IR. He misses 4 games at least. He missed last week, this week, and he has to miss the next 2 playoff games if they get past the wild card round. So he wouldn't even be eligible to come back unless they make it to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. So I mean, if Diggs is out, that's definitely 100% going to impact them. The run game is. The Patriots' running attack is so unique. It's not like they're going to ground and pound you. They are going to keep running it until they get that explosive play. It's like they get stuff, and then they have that explosive 80-yard touchdown, and it works. So without the presence of a Diggs, that's definitely going to take a little bit off of a defensive game plan. But Drake May has proven that he's going to be able to get the guys around him playing. His ball placement is just off the charts. So it's going to impact them. But I think that only time will tell. We'll see.
Well,
this is what's important.
Go ahead.
Stefon Diggs and Matt Collins account for 1,500 yards this year.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May's thrown for 4,200. That's 2,700 yards, double what Mac he's getting yards everywhere. So it's not as big as it seems of an impact. We just know that those are their best two guys. And they haven't, let's be honest, Diggs got 970 on the season. He's obviously probably going to hit the 1,000 versus the Dolphins, but that's just low grade number 2 stuff, man. And Mac Hollins with 550, that's a solid tight end numbers, or number 3 giving me a little something. It's not what it seems in New England, and that's the beauty of their team. They don't rely on any specific 1 or 2 players. They go out and they play the game.
It's definitely a beautiful thing. Now, funny enough, and Richie, you typically always laugh about advanced analytics, right?
Sorry, I laughed before you said it. Go ahead.
But I'm surprised you do, because you want to know why. Like, you're regularly on this show, and so am I. Where we look at a team and we look at their record, and then we always say, yeah, but look at who they're playing, or yeah, but we're just way too focused on the highlights and the lowlights. Well, Richie, that's why I'm going to introduce you to DVOA, and that's going to be your favorite thing in the face of the planet. Because your takes where you're looking at a team with a record of 13-4, but you're like, yeah, but they still low-key stink. This DVOA is going to allow you, to now actually put numbers to those
Can I speak for myself real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you said I laugh at it. I want to add some context. I don't completely disregard analytics and DVOA and EPA and all that. That's not my stance. I just think that from my lens, I like a balance and not all data. I think a balance of film and seeing the eye test with your own eyes of what's happening on the football field combined with advanced analytics is my approach to things. I'm not one side or the other. I like to see it all things from all lenses. So I'm not against it.
No, you're not against it. And why I brought this up is that I'm sure you guys might be interested. I have the power rankings of each and every single NFL team per DVOA, and I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this. The Panthers are 24th in the NFL, and they are potentially your 4th seed in the NFC.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw somebody say that the last night.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rich. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're good.
Go ahead.
Is it true that the game this weekend is no longer for the NFC South, or did I just get...
No. That is true. And then we'll come back to this here in a second. Yeah. We'll come back to this here in a second. Okay. How the tiebreakers work. Even if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Panthers on Saturday, if the Falcons were to beat the Saints, the Panthers would still win the division, because all 3 of them would have an 8-9 record, and the Carolina Panthers would win the 3-way tiebreaker.
So in order for the Bucs to make the playoffs, they need the Saints to beat the Falcons, and for the Panthers and for the Bucs to win.
Yes.
Got it.
The only way the Buccaneers are capable of making the playoffs is they need the Saints to win, and they need to beat the Atlanta Falcons.
That's doable, though. The Saints have been playing.
Saints been on a hot streak. Saints been on a.
We got to start talking about some Tyler Shook.
Yeah, we do, man.
And shout out Chris Olave. Chris Olave is my big reason why I'm a fantasy football champion. He was my sleeper. I drafted him in the 7th round, and he's been balling. Shout out Chris Olave.
Yeah, man. Shout out Chris Olave indeed. But going back to this is something that's pretty interesting to me, and this just feeds my narrative as well. As far as power rankings are considered, and that thing where there's easy schedules, right? And there's quality of opponents. There's teams matchups where you're going up against them without key starters that make their team entirely different. The New England Patriots are 15th in the NFL as far as total DVOA, 15th ranked team in the NFL based off of what they're seeing. Offense is good because of Drake May's elite play, but as a team collectively, 15th ranked in the NFL. Interesting stuff here. Very intriguing stuff. And the top 5 teams, Rams number 1. That's even after losing to the Falcons, because this stat does incorporate fluke games. Seahawks are 2nd. You have the Texans are 5th in DVOA, 3rd in power rankings. Jaguars are 4th, and the Broncos are 5th as far as the top 5 teams going into the playoffs this year.
We have some breaking news.
I love breaking news. Go ahead.
Just remove your screen so I can share it.
Let me remove it, man. I got to hear it.
Breaking news. Sound the alarms. Quinn Ewers has been named an MVP candidate. Todd Archer says the Cowboys have released cornerback Trevon Diggs from the Dallas Cowboys, and he's going through the waiver process. And if he is unclaimed, he'll be a free agent. So there is a chance that a playoff team is going to be getting a man of Trevon Diggs.
Breaking news, man. We got to investigate this. We got to investigate this, man. Like this.
Torre? You know who Pablo Torre is?
No. Please
really don't see. He's the investigational journalist that's like calling out all, like he did that deep dive on Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, and he's doing all these things in the NBA. He's like investigating everything and bringing things to light. Yeah, it was just a joke.
So this strangely reminds me of like when you're deep into a fantasy football league, right? And like all of a sudden some guy that's been eliminated drops like Christian McCaffrey, right? And then a championship team picks him up like right before or something along those lines. Diggs has been struggling over in Dallas. Why would they decide to do it right now? It really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm curious to see where he ultimately ends up going up because I'm looking at playoff teams based off of my screen. Who's really struggling from a secondary perspective? Who do you think is going to pick him up? And are we even bought in that he would be a main contributor? Rich.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what team? I mean, the Packers is a team.
I think the Packers could, maybe use him. Yeah. Secondary is an issue.
Yeah, I can see the Packers. I can see any team that's trying to win now that needs some secondary help. You know, Miami. Oh, wait, they're mathematically eliminated. So I don't know, man. I think that the Packers are the first team that comes to my mind. How about you? Any other team?
I feel like the Packers.
What if he goes to the New England Patriots and reunites with his brother?
I feel like it'd be pretty redundant, right?
Yeah, they don't need corner help.
I feel like it'd be pretty redundant. You have Gonzo and you have.
And how about we have breaking news today with both Diggs brothers?
Breaking news. Whoa, dude. A rough day in the Diggs family today, man. Oh, yeah. Dude. TD, thoughts on this drop? Does it make sense? Yeah. This is a little weird. And then who could potentially pick him up?
Yeah, Dallas is releasing them now because if anybody picks them up, they're going to be responsible for some of the contract. It's going to be offset where they can save a few dollars.
Is that true?
Yeah, when you let somebody go on waivers, they still have guaranteed money.
Yeah, his final game salary.
But that's only if he's claimed. If he goes unclaimed,
that's what I'm saying, if he's claimed.
But if he goes unclaimed, then he's a free agent.
Yeah. If you're unclaimed, you're a free agent. Yeah, I don't
think he's going to get claimed.
But this just means they were going to cut him anyway, so try. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Yeah. So you put him out there on waivers, and if somebody picks him up, hey, you just save a few bucks. It's just, smart to do if you can. So, I get it. Dallas ain't going nowhere. They weren't going to move forward next year. So I just think now give him an opportunity to maybe get picked up and try to go compete with another team and have a maybe playoff run audition that can, get him back into good graces in the league from a playing standpoint. He's been underwhelming in Dallas, and we'll see how that works out. But there will be a lot of teams because when the playoffs comes around, it doesn't matter what you have on the roster. Every playoff team should be looking at this because you want to have as much depth as you possibly can. What you gonna do if the Bills corner goes out in round one? What are the Chargers gonna do? Their number one corner goes out in round one. You want as much depth as you possibly can that's available out there going into the playoffs, and that's what teams do. So he may clear waivers. It depends on what that price tag is. I got to go look at it. That could be the only thing that holds him back from clearing waivers. But if he does become a free agent, trust me, it's gonna be at least 7 teams trying to bring him in. That's on a playoff run. You got to have as much as you can go into the playoffs. You don't take any chance.
Funny enough, while the Bills secondary is in a good place, We did ultimately end up making a play for Darius Slay, claimed him off of waivers, and he refused to report to the organization. So maybe, just maybe. All right. we might claim that Diggs and see what's going on. He's had a rough season. 50.87% of the plays involving Diggs resulted in a positive play for the opposing offense. Meaning when he was on the field and targeted, that something very good happened for the opposing offense. He recorded just 2 interceptions, which is more than the New York Jets.
What are you laughing at, TD? I don't understand.
And has allowed 16 receptions while only recording 15 passes defended.
TD, what's so funny, TD?
Hey, if the Jets sign him, will they now have 2 picks?
TD, what's so funny, TD?
Touche.
Why is Tony Dow laughing?
Y'all haven't gotten an interception this year. That's funny to me.
Interceptions are overrated. Who needs to lead an interception?
They weren't overrated when Sauce Gardner was here, was it?
Well, no, they were overrated because he never got them.
Well, that's true too. Y'all just
Sauce never got interceptions. You guys see the memes and you see what's going on with Sauce now that you brought him up. That Sauce went from being 0-7 on the Jets to 1-8 on the Colts.
That's improvement.
And then he went out on there an X and wrote an essay defending himself. He's very emotional. And then he deleted it. And people had people were like, "Oh, Sauce was 1-7 with the Jets." Well, he's actually not playing in our only win, so he technically did not get that W.
Sauce is pretty emotional, isn't it? He's kind of been like that his whole career.
Yeah, he has. He goes right to X, he gets it all out, and he deletes it, but everyone screenshots it and posts it anyway.
He actually ended up winning a lawsuit with a Bills fan about a year ago, as a matter of fact. I'm not sure if you followed that story, but some Bills fan or whatever, she was chirping him or something along those lines, and then Sauce responds and trolls her and says something about, "Oh yeah, like why don't you talk to your husband about like your OnlyFans account," which was a troll. She didn't have one. She sues him. He wins. And somehow he argued that like, if you ban trolling on the internet, then what is this world coming to? Crazy. I'm surprised he won, but he won.
Free speech.
What did he win?
Yeah, but still, that's pretty clear defamation. He won some sort of financial compensation. I think he won. I don't know. Like, you can look it up.
That trade could be the best thing possible for the Jets if we capitalize on it.
Yeah. You can like look up some of the specifics, but like I was really shocked that he won because that was clear as day defamation. but I mean, hey, lawyers, right? Gotta love them, gotta hate them. All right. Anyway, moving on, folks. How about them damn Kirko Chains Atlanta Falcons? All right. Putting it down on the LA Rams. I cracked my TV on, and I ultimately ended up seeing that the Falcons at one point were up 21-0. Bijan Robinson had himself a game. It's not like Kirk Cousins was really having much to do. Matthew Stafford had an absolute stinker last night. Lost the MVP.
Me.
Depending, of course, on who you ask. I think my question is this. Is this sounding the alarm bells for the LA Rams, or are you chalking this up as a fluke type performance, a fluke game from this LA Rams team? TD, has your opinion changed of how far the Rams can go in the playoffs based off of this performance last night, or would you categorize it as a fluke?
It's a little truth in both of those categorizations. My thing is that's scary for the Rams to put a performance out there like that this late in the season with a team that's supposed to be inferior. But also, you know, sometimes things like this catch up to you. Like even with the Matthew Stafford thing, he's been playing lights out this year. He's been playing amazing, but you know, sometimes it's the one game, you know, that'll get you. It's the one game that you throw the 3 interceptions in or whatever it may be that brings you back down to earth from a statistical standpoint. And the thing with Matthew Stafford, when he throws picks, they've come in bunches too. Like this year, he had a game where he threw 2 and he had this one with 3. That's 5 of his 8 right there. You know, so he blew the game for his team. Those turnovers really hurt them. Without those turnovers, they, in my opinion, easily beat Atlanta. You can't recover from those type of plays. You know, three of them where you just caught the ball up and then you made it a game at the end. You can't tell me if he didn't throw those interceptions, if he didn't take care of the football, that they wouldn't have actually won the game. So you can actually look at a game and say Stafford lost this for us today. And that's what it came down to. I'm not concerned about it as much as some people would be, because you do one, you know, you're bad. It's bad that you had it this late in the season, but at least you got it out the way. That's all I can say. You know, these are lights out, but hey, will they have a problem going on the road? And they're going to be a road team in the playoffs. That's another element to think about. So,
and so remember, they also dropped one to the Carolina Panthers a couple of weeks ago as well. So it's not that this is their first stinker, if you will. Cody's come in. My boy Cody, what's up? We hung out with him at the Bills event. Daddy, you can throw your hat back on, bro. We understand you're a man of your word. You won. Thank you so much, man. I like my do, man. I like my haircut.
He likes it, Cody. You let him rock it. Shout out to Cody.
I like it, brother. No. And so I feel like I might go with like the Travis Kelce fade. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to grow this out to like a 3 or something.
It's going to grow back quick, isn't it?
I used to have that haircut.
Oh, yeah. My hair grows back real quick.
I used to call it the Vinny from Jersey Shore haircut back in middle school.
Yeah.
I used to have that haircut. But now I got full head of hair, baby. Sicilian hair. You know what I mean?
Sicilian. Rich, are you sounding the alarm bells for the LA Rams based off of some of the losses that they have taken this year?
Yeah, I mean, for me, yes, because I've had them as my expectations for them this playoff run was high. I look at them as a Super Bowl threat. And I know we're talking about last night, but we have to get into a topic eventually, because I just still lost for words about one team that we're just not talking about that can win the whole Super Bowl. But I think that the Rams, I'm not going to count them out. I think that Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford are veterans enough to be able to deal with adversity. It's not like they're not making the playoffs. The only problem with them is they're officially a wild card team. You know, the NFC West division is not going to be up for grabs anymore. So they're going to have to go on the road most of the time. And I still think that they are a team to be afraid of in the playoffs. That's for sure. Because if they won last night, what really would it have done? Like, they probably still wouldn't have won the division anyway. So, you know, it's not too big of a loss for them, but just from optics and expectations and MVP race, of course, it's a big step backwards.
A big step backwards indeed.
Hold on. What did you say about the MVP, Richie?
I said it hurt the MVP situation.
So did it change your thoughts on the MVP?
Not yet, because week 18 has to happen.
You said, okay, well, let me see Stafford tonight first.
Yeah, that's why I said it obviously changed things for the MVP 100%. You know, Drake May gets 5 touchdowns, no picks, and then you get Matthew Stafford put up 3 interceptions. That's going to change some things. And I think that, you know, right now, if I would put money on it, I think Drake May is going to win MVP. Yeah. We're going to have back-to-back. But TD, let me just let this sink in your brain. Back-to-back years potentially of having an AFC East quarterback win an MVP. That's not a Dolphin.
Back-to-back Quinn Ewers next year.
See, this is why timeout. Okay, we can't let this happen, Dan. We got to hold him accountable with the Quinn Ewers stuff, man. No. He's trying to come back in. He's not coming back in. He's not.
How you gonna get mad because you set it up for me to answer?
You know what I mean? All right, Joe Burrow MVP next year for the Jets. How about that? If you want to go down that route
for the Jets, now you're tripping. It was Quinn Ewers on our roster.
It's more likely for the Jets to somehow get Joe Burrow and for him to win the MVP than Quinn Ewers win MVP for the Dolphins next year.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
So like you're sold on the you don't need Joe Burrow anymore, and you're riding with Quinn Ewers next year, TD?
Quinn Ewers is better than Joe Burrow.
If Joe Burrow becomes available to trade for, if we could get a good deal, you got to do it, him and Lamar. But if that's not the case, which is highly likely to not be the case,
that's something
Can you imagine Joe Burrow and Lamar both come to the AFC East and the Jets get one of them and the Dolphins get one of them?
Just beating all of you and just
who would you rather have?
Beating all of you is going to be great. Oh my God, it's going to be perfect.
You mean beating y'all?
But you know what? It might revive. It might revive the damn AFC's roundtable though.
Just washed up. Man.
It would be good for business if, for example,
who would you rather have, Joe Burrow or Lamar on the Dolphins?
Right now,
Lamar's from South Florida, I believe. No,
and I'm not gonna lie, Richie. I've actually thought about this 2 days ago. It was the hardest thing that messed my mind up thinking about that because Lamar looks like he might be losing a little bit of a mobility step.
Well, he's playing injured. I feel like if he's fully healthy, he wouldn't be.
And that's the thing, but I don't know that, and that's what's scary now. Joe Burrow is a hands down, but he doesn't have the mobility that I would love to see in Miami. That's a tough one. I would probably have to go with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, same. I mean, from a Jets
perspective, Tyreek,
Joe Burrow.
If we're figuring out a way to keep Tyreek. Yeah.
No. Tyreek's gone in that situation.
No, you don't know. No, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, why? You know some things now? After
I actually do.
So you actually have resources now?
Maybe.
So I think with Lamar Jackson's, I think Burrow's play style is a hell of a lot more sustainable. Like you're gonna get a hell of a lot more years. But I mean, then again, you account for Joe Burrow's injury history, right? So like I suppose the same thing could be said, but his play style is more sustainable. You can see so when this year's been a perfect example. He's had lower body injuries all season. He's not the same.
Now he's back.
Yeah, now he's back. Like he's like you take that away from his game, like it's not enough. So I'm curious. However, somebody on Twitter said this yesterday. They said that if Lamar Jackson does not play on Sunday night versus the Steelers, that will be his last game as a Baltimore Raven. Somebody said this. It's like a pretty followed beat reporter who's suggesting this, but a lot of people are on the exact same page. Do you guys think that Lamar Jackson is going to be a Baltimore Raven next year, or do you think that he's going to attempt to find greener pastures? In case you're interested, if, for example, he is traded in 2026, which is the final year right before they're out, if he is traded pre-June 1st, so they add $57 million in dead cap, which is money that's already paid to him, but they save $17 million in 2026. If they trade him post-June 1st, so the dead cap is split in half, but the Ravens get $52 million in 2026 cap savings. So financially, it makes sense if they want to move on from him. Is Lamar Jackson a Baltimore Raven next year, Richie?
It's so hard. I mean, I don't know. Most likely, yes.
One thing I will say, he's not going to sign the next contract with Baltimore. I can tell you that. That much I can confirm.
That's why I think this is actually a big possibility. Do we know yet his injury status? Is he playing this weekend? I don't know, but I'm going to say yes.
He's expected to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's going to be a Raven next year. I find it hard to believe, but we've seen parity in the NFL before. We've seen things happen, but can you imagine if Lamar and Joe Burrow are available, and then you have Kyler Murray potentially on the go, and then you have a Malik Willis who's looking great as a backup, and then you have the rookie quarterback class, man. It's going to be, and the rookie quarterback class coming in. It's going to be crazy offseason for the quarterback search.
The problem with the Ravens, Richie, is that how many different ways do you want to do it and fail? This is a Harbaugh thing. If they make a move, it's going to start with Harbaugh. And that's what, if they want to move on from anyone, it's going to start with Harbaugh. That's what needs to happen. But only they know if Lamar is beat up to a point to where he may never, really be the same or not. Only they know. So if he becomes available, I believe you have a guy who they believe is going to be the same or decline from this point on.
Yeah. So I think that if they do move on from Harbaugh, I think that almost for certain suggests that Lamar Jackson is also moving on, because you would want that new head coach to come in and build the team his way. And Lamar is from the John Harbaugh era. And when I'm looking at $52 million added to cap space without John Harbaugh, that is a perfect like setting stone to start a rebuild.
Yeah. This Derrick Henry Lamar thing can't last forever.
Lamar Jackson. That, and then with Derrick Henry's contract, I want to say is actually, I think there's an out next year too, or it's done. Let me double check on this real fast.
And here's another thing to consider. Is Baltimore going to take a $75 million cap hit next year?
Nah, they're going to have to restructure that.
Which is an extension, technically.
Basically. So it's either that they restructure him and put him on the books longer, or they find a trade candidate, which I guarantee you that somebody would end up making a trade for him. They say $52 million.
You guarantee?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, man.
And so the whole thing with the no trade clause, yeah, but that's entirely up to him, right? Like, how do we know that like he wants to stay there, right? He is from South Florida. If Miami called and they said, hey,
he's a Cowboys fan, but his second team has always been the Dolphins, according to him. Yeah. So because there were journalists coming out saying Lamar doesn't even like the Dolphins, he's a Cowboys fan. And he actually responded last year saying, I am a Cowboys fan, but the Dolphins are my second team. Making that clear. Don't get scared, Richie. And Dan.
Oh, he admitted instead of being a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan. But his second team is the Dolphins.
No one's scared of you, even with Lamar. Let's get into some callers. We got JT in the house. What up, JT?
Yo, what up, gents? How we doing today?
What up, man?
Great, bro. How about you?
Doing well. I want to speak about the game a little bit last night. Did you guys see that the third down play? I think it was where the no call for PTI, where Joe Buck and Troy Aikman adamantly said it should have been PI.
I'm not sure.
See. Let's pull up the clip.
I think there was hand fighting, is what I saw, and I think it should have been OPI if anything was called. But I like the no call, so I'm curious in your guys' thoughts on that.
I'm with you. I remember the call. It was a no call.
Thank you, JT, for the call, brother.
You don't make that call. When you got two guys using their hands, and by the way, there were 3 plays in that game like that. There were 3 plays in that whole game just like that where, offensive and defensive player were tugging or pulling or pushing. And here's my thing. If a wide receiver is allowed to push off slightly, we got to stop calling it when the defender holds after the push slightly. We got to stop calling that because these wide receivers are getting the separation. I don't know if you remember that deep ball, I believe it was a corner route right here, before this, that was a push off that got the separation, if I'm not mistaken. See that hand extension? That little sway right there is enough to catch the football. That little bit of a slight push is enough to get the separation to catch the football. So I don't have a problem with that little tug on the arm at the end.
Yeah.
You see how the corner's whole upper body veers backwards a little bit? You can't allow that either on the offensive side of the football. No call was the right call, and the offensive player couldn't make the play.
Yeah. Based off of what I just saw right there, I think technically you could have. But that would have been so ticky-tacky.
But it's unfair. You allowing the offensive player to get that 6 inches of separation to have a good look at the ball, but the defender can't try to recover from your actual push. It's not right.
I don't know, Richie.
So that was a no call, right?
Yes,
And that was a no call.
I agree with the no call.
I agree.
I think that the wide receiver initiated contact, the defender got back. It was handsy. It was in a moment. I think that's a good no call because if you call that, that's, I don't know. Because in real time, it should been, the announcers were the ones that were highlighting that it should have been PI. And that's the problem I have sometimes with the NFL because whatever the announcers say, their opinions, the masses are going to listen to that as truth most of the time. Like, oh, well, the announcer said it's PI, therefore it has to be. Then you got Gene, whatever his name is, come on and says something. But yeah, I don't think that was that should have been a call. I think it was a good no call there.
It was a good no call.
How about the catch though from Puka? That wasn't a catch.
It wasn't a catch.
I know that was crazy, man.
I feel like we got to react to that too.
That was a heck of a catch for it not to be a catch.
That was a heck of a catch.
It's sad because you gotta finish that through to be one of the catches of the year. But he didn't finish it through.
All right, here we go. Oh, get that bad boy out of here. There you go. All right, folks, let us know. Did Puka catch it? Okay. Both feet down.
I don't think this is the angle, though. Because it looks like he caught it from this angle. It was the shot coming from the sideline view. That's what revealed the ball pop out. That one.
There?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how
This is where it shows that it's not a catch because he got 2 feet in, it's a catch, but then the ball pops out, loses possession.
Right there. Still no possession.
If the ball didn't pop out,
because
you have to control the ball down to the floor. As much as everyone's going to say it's a catch, wah, wah, wah. According to the rules, it's not a catch.
That's no different from him hitting the ground and it plops out. No different.
So are you saying? So we're saying that the referees called a fair game last night.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the referees.
I suggest that they did. I suggest that they did. Fair game.
Yeah.
Now, did you call a fair game last night, Dan, on Sleeper? Because
Sleeper.
What do you know about them, TD?
Because I know Puka Nacua.
What about, is Dan a fantasy champion? Puka did nothing.
I am a fantasy football champion.
Congrats.
The correction?
The correction, baby. 147.68 to 136.92.
11 points.
I am the Roundtable Sports official fantasy football champion.
This is inspiring me. We have to do a better job for our fantasy league next year for Roundtable.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't really a lot on the line. We got to get one of these. So in my fantasy league that I do with my high school friends who are doing for a decade, I'm the commissioner. I just ordered this trophy. And you can customize the plaques. So we went back into the 2016, 2017. There's going to be plaques of the champions all the way back from 2016 when we started. And it's going to say 2025, your boy Richie.
Nice.
How do you know about that? It's going to be right behind me.
Well, you know what?
Champion, TD.
Well, you know what? So Mr. CFO, send me a trophy. Send me a trophy.
What we need to do,
go ahead.
What we need to do though, which we tried to do, it was too last minute. We need our creators involved. We need to do like all of our creators in a fantasy league. That at least 2 of them, because there's so many creators. There's 30 of us, 32 of us, whatever. Mm-hmm. We need to get at least 2 leagues going or something because we need some competition within the network, right?
Where you could do
with some things in stake, things on the line.
So many potential things.
Well, shout out to Sleeper for being the app that Dan used for the championship. It's not just a app to play fantasy football, of course. It's where you can play daily fantasy football, where you can bet up to 100x win up to 100x your money. You put $10 down, you win like over 1,000 if you get it all correct. Big time shout out to them. Use the code RTS. And if you guys did use our code RTS in this Sleeper app, let us know in the comments. We'd love to give you a shout out. Big time shout out to them as always. And we also got to give a shout out to RotoWire, because RotoWire is the ultimate fantasy football tool that leveraged all of our wizardry to win our championships this year, minus TD Finstock. And I'm really excited to be partnered up with RotoWire because they are the ultimate fantasy football tool. They will give you the more or less predictions on all of their sleeper picks. You can sync sleeper right to RotoWire. So huge shout out goes to them.
Shout out to Sleeper and the Rototo. Dude, I am incapable of rolling my R's. I've tried.
You're not Italian, brother.
I can't roll my R's, man. It kills me. What about you, TD? And can you roll your R's? Oh, damn, dude, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I've tried. I can't do it.
Come on, man. It's very easy. Just.
I don't know what that's.
I can't do it, man.
I'm not even
You can't
sure
say my name in Italian. Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Riccardo Giuseppe Vincenzo Malora. That's my full name in Italian. Mi chiamo Riccardo. E tu?
Where's the freaking gabagoo?
Now that right there is Italian American.
We're gonna leave there with his food.
That's pure, gritty New York Italian American right there. Bro.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Where's the gabagoo?
I'm just Irish. That's it. Anyway, folks, thank you. Thank you so much for tapping in on another edition of Fourth and Forever. We have a lot of shows running tonight, our divisional coverage all across the network. If you haven't already, folks, I don't feel like we do a good enough job on this show promoting the rest of our network, but we have a divisional show for each and every single division, a YouTuber at the top of their game for each and every single team, going face-to-face with their divisional rivals on a weekly basis. If you want to tap in on the NFC West division, which is super competitive, obviously, that show has been going off. The NFC North was last night, in case you wanted to check out some of their conversations as well. So many great shows are on this network, guys, and we would love your support. If you're just a football fan and you want to get some perspectives from other people in the league, because they know their teams as well as I know the Bills, Richie knows the Jets, and TD knows the Dolphins. So certainly recommend you go check all that out. Rich, what do you got to tell the squad before?
Happy New Year's, everybody. We enjoy you guys. I love you. Have a great rest of your day. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out of the building, and we'll see you next time.
TD, what up?
Yes, man. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, man, this is the most exciting part of the year. We get even more competitive football, so I'm excited to talk about it right here on Fourth and Forever. We love you all.
Oh, man, we have Cody coming in. Can we get a Dan Mitchell plus Jets Media dual live play-by-play reaction? I don't know. We got to figure that out.
I mean, it's the last game of the year. If there ever was a time in a meaningless game, this is the time to do it.
We could do it. Yeah,
down,
yeah, we could do it. Just live react together.
I mean, what we'll do is we'll just be together and we'll stream it to both of our channels. I mean, it's pretty easy to do. We just have to make sure our streams are synced perfectly. I mean, the game is, so we're not ahead of each other.
Who's play-by-play? Who's color commentary?
When TD and I did it, I think what we would do is you would call the offense. I would call the offense.
Yeah.
So like I'll be play-by-play for the Jets offense. You'll be color for the Bills defense. And then you'd be play-by-play for the Bills offense. I'd be color for the Jets defense. If that makes any sense.
Man,
sign me up.
There ain't going to be much calling or color for the Jets.
Yeah, dude, it's the last game of the season.
We need to have a business meeting right now because we need to figure out our plan, not only we need the Roundtable cast.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
TD and I made that happen last year, and it was pretty good.
Uh-huh. All right. All right, folks, we're out of here. Love y'all.
All right, let's let them hear our business meeting. All right, folks.